parang may nagkaroon ng time na nawala yung self-worth ko.
You have to work to help your husband with the finances, to help prepare finances for your children for their future.
Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, pag age mo ng 35, wala na. Para kasing etsapwera ka na.
And it feels like hindi ko alam kung paano ko mag-gain yung confidence ko. Pag naging mom na sila, parang nawawala yung career path nila.
Kasi na-fed up ako sa sobrang traffic. So, papasok, dahil madaling araw, either mag-grab ako or mag-aangkas, which is malaki-laki yung expenses.
The time spent with your kids and family are far more important than any job title out there.
Nag-decide ako na maghanap ng online job at nakakuha nga ako. Sobrang saya ko talaga. Kaya tinulungan ko rin yung iba kong mga mommy friends at nagkaroon rin sila ng sarili nilang online job. Kaya doon ako na-inspire at nag-decide na simula ng Filipina home-based moms.
FHMoms community was created for mothers, for single women, for women professionals and entrepreneurs, for women overseas Filipino workers, for differently abled women, and even for young at heart women. FHMoms is a women community.
Nung nagsimula yung FHMoms, hindi ko in-expect na ganito ka magiging malaki. Ngayon, meron na kaming more than 250,000 members nationwide. Dati, ang tingin ng mga tao sa amin, community lang. No? Ngayon, social enterprise na kami with different projects na tumutulong sa mga kababaihan.
We have free webinars about freelancing, entrepreneurship, parenting, and personal growth. We offer online short courses as well as mastery courses with trainers' 1-year support. We also run a scholarship program and an internship program. We also facilitate charity activities where we are joined by community members as volunteers. Job matching program is something they can also look forward to, as well as e-commerce program. And to celebrate motherhood, we also have online bootcamp for kids. We also have the computer rent-to-own program for members who need assistance in acquiring a computer set. Aspire to be a strong-willed, independent woman.
Mas gusto kong maging productive at saka naniniwala ako sa continuous learning.
Inspire other women.
Everyone was uplifting each other. Everyone was trying to help each other. In this world, you have to be more kind. You have to be more helpful because everyone is fighting their own battles, and you have to understand, you have to empathize. And that is what FHMoms is doing with all the moms out there. Even if you're not a mom, you would feel welcome.
Empower each woman to be in their fullest potential.
And most importantly, Mommy MK and the team model humility and generosity. Talagang ito yung very evident, which impacted me the most. So it gave me the desire to share freely to others what I learned freely from the FHMoms community. And I've always loved the community, the motive of the community, that is to change the world one mom at a time. Good job, FHMoms.
Aspire, inspire, empower. Nothing is stronger than a community of women lifting each other up.
To be among women who have genuinely tried to help people. This is something that I feel passionately about, and then this is something that I saw in FHMoms.
God is good. Kasi parang naturo sa akin itong FHMoms na pinakita sa akin na kahit nasa bahay ka, kahit nag-aalaga ka ng anak mo, it won't stop na dun ka lang. Yun lang yung pwede mong gawin.
Without this community, I'm not here in this situation. So, FHMoms po yung nag-guide and nag-mold sa akin to be the best working at home mom I could ever be.
Ang pinakamalaking impact sa FHMoms sa akin is their quote, which is moving forward, giving back. That's the very essence of FHMoms eh.
That's what I like about this group kasi we encourage and inspire each other to keep dreaming, to chase our dreams. It's actually a big impact kasi if you are losing hope and wala ka ng gana and all, but because of this page, mapapasana all ka.
Dahil sa online job, natupad ko yung mga pangarap ko at Ang pinakapangarap ko na lang ay matupad yung pangarap ng lahat ng mga mommies. Huwag tayong titigil na abutin lahat ng mga pangarap natin, masipagan pa natin at huwag tayong susuko. Kaya kung feeling nyo hindi kayo techie, feeling nyo hindi pasok ang edad nyo para dito sa online freelancing, huwag nyong iisipin yon kasi sobrang daming opportunities ang pwedeng ibigay sa inyo online. At nandito ang Filipino home-based moms para suportahan kayo. Para sa mga naghahanap ng online job at gusto ring matuto pagdating sa online business, you can join Filipino Home-Based Moms Facebook group. My name is MK Bertulfo, CEO and founder of Filipino Home-Based Moms, and our goal is to change lives one mom at a time.
Everyone, how are you all doing? Yes, make sure to tag your friends and share this live if you know someone who needs help on how to make a self-introduction video. So if you can all hear me loud and clear, please let me know. Good evening to all the mommies, the titas, and the ates alike who are listening in or watching in wherever you are watching from, whether it's our Facebook, it's the YouTube channel. I hope you are having a really good evening so far. So yeah, let me know in the chat where you're from, if you can hear me, if I'm loud and clear. So hi to Sahara, hi to Jean, hi to Yvette, hi to Mary April. So lots and lots of moms coming in. Thank you so much for all of those who are already sharing, who are already tagging their friends, who are letting others know that, hey, you should watch this too. Okay, so tonight, as you can see from the title itself, it is how to make a self-introduction video. Now, I actually haven't done this training. It was actually a very special request from Mommy MK for me to be able to do this. So I'm very excited to just dive in and kind of give you a step-by-step on how to actually successfully create a self-introduction video that can help get you hired, hopefully. That is our aim, that is our goal, is to get you hired. So we have a bunch of people from Cebu, people from Marikina, we have people from Navotas, yay! Ooh, we have from Tacloban, hi! I just came from Tacloban last Tuesday. Okay, so like I said, our topic for tonight is how to make a self-introduction video. Now, of course, before anything else, you need to know who I am, who is this colored, red-violet colored hair person on FHMoms. So my name is Lai Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. I actually don't have kids of my own. I have a pet turtle and I have a ton of plants. So that's my only claim to being a mommy. I am the virtual ate in the essence where I coach a lot of people, kind of like Mommy MK, but more focusing on teens, how to be able to work from home. I've been working from home myself since I was 15 years old. I'm now 25. I run my own executive assistant agency here in Cebu City. So for those who are from Cebu City, you're near me. And I've been doing this for a while. I've been training a lot of people online for a while. And I really focus for myself, soft skills. So you will notice at least once a month, I'm here at FHMoms teaching a soft skill or two. So usually I go through Soft Skills 101. I teach how to be confident on video, how to upgrade your communication skills, and how to be indispensable. Those are my usual trainings. I do those every 4 months. One of those every 4 months. So if you want to go back or relearn or watch me live, I am here every first Thursday of the month. So make sure to, you can also go back on the YouTube channel and Facebook to watch all of the past trainings that I've done. So one thing that I will ask from you guys, if I start talking too fast, please let me know. I won't mind at all. Sometimes I do talk too fast if I get too excited. So I'm trying to make sure or keep in mind that I need to slow down. So for anyone, feel free to add me on LinkedIn, by the way. I love seeing fellow FH moms in my LinkedIn page, seeing your content. So feel free to connect with me there. So before we start, I always talk about this, and I say this is a bonus because this is a concept that if you understand this, you will be miles away from a lot of people who don't know this. Because if you want to succeed in anything, you need to have two main factors. One is willingness to learn. The other one is the willingness to take action. What that means is, let's say you have no idea how to create Filipino spaghetti, right? So that's aim for success. You're aiming for that success of being able to create that really mom spaghetti. So you need to have the willingness to learn it. So you need to want to learn it, and you need to be able to take action. You can't just keep staring at the recipe, have, multiple certificates showing that you can, create spaghetti, but you've never actually taken, made the spaghetti yourself. That is kind of worthless. So you can see it's a multiplicative effect. It's one with the other. So if it was just a pure equation, then if you have a 10 on learning right now, you're willing to learn, you're willing to improve your self-introduction videos when you're applying for a job, then, and you're a 10 on action, then you're kind of guaranteed to just succeed. You're guaranteed to get that job, or at least get feedback of why you did it. And if you're only a 10 on learning, but you are a 0 on action, it's still going to be a 0. It's like you never really wanted to learn in the first place. But even if you're just 5 on learning, 5 on action, that's still 25% there. You're still higher than most people. So I would love to know, let me know in the comments where you are at tonight on learning about how to just be more confident when you have to create a self-introduction video when applying for a job. Please let me know in the comments. So let me see for people who are coming in. Okay, we have people who Mayong Gabi. Mayong Gabi. Hey, 5 by 5 right now. That's good. Thank you, by the way, Filipina, for sharing and tagging a lot of your friends, by the way. So yeah, let me know where you're at in, where are you on learning? What score are you putting on learning? What score are you putting when it comes to taking action? So Beth says 5 by 5. Eden says 5 by 5. So we have good amount of people who are ready to learn. So what is a self-introduction video? So you probably have seen these, and if you haven't, you probably will, especially if right now you are job hunting. By the way, let me know in the comments if you're right now job hunting, just so I know who I'm talking to, who is right now looking for a job. And also let me know in the comments if you've ever seen job ads like these. So right here you can see that this is from onlinejobs.ph, and you can see that they'll say, blah 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 requirements, what's in it for you. Now here they'll say you need to submit a 1 to 2 minute video introduction of yourself, explain why you are a good fit for the position together with your CV, and screenshots of all technical requirements, internet speed, and then drop your applications. I should have blocked this, but it's okay. But I just, I got this from onlinejobs.ph directly. So this is an example of what you have to expect when you are applying for jobs. Now, for me, I've been hiring online for the last 6 years. I was running a book publishing company for about 5 years, and then now I run my own agency. So in those, collectively almost 7 years, I've been hiring all online. And for me, from a employer's point of view, the reason why we ask for this is now that we are all online, we kind of want to streamline the application process. So what we mean by that is, instead of having to actually jump on a interview with you, like a Zoom interview right away, we want to have you filter yourselves out. What that means is, some jobs will need you to face the camera, some jobs will need you to do calls, and some jobs will just need you to be more confident. And for employers, or looking at it from a foreigner's point of view, this is one way that you can prove that you are actually brave enough, that you are confident, that you're also willing to get hired. I myself, last year, when I was hiring for my own awesome assistant, Tina, who's probably watching, I also asked her to create a self-introduction video, and that was because I was really looking for a specific person for the job. So that is why more and more employers are doing this, of asking for a self-introduction video, is for us to not have to think about the people who don't. If you don't follow the instructions, we can actually just either mark your email unread, or actually throw it in the trash, sadly, because you did not follow instructions. So for us, it is an additional filter. It's an additional way for us to really find the right person that we are looking for. So that is why more and more employers are now requiring self-introduction videos. So let me know who here has seen these. Who has seen? So Rhea says that job hunting. I will submit a video later. This is so timely, so perfect. Let me know who is currently who has seen this or who is about to apply for a job that requires a video introduction. Let me know so I can help you. You know, feel free to, if you have a specific intro video that you're struggling right now, let me know also in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to help you guide you through with that. So that is basically why more and more employers are doing this. Basically filter. It's basically to see if you're confident enough, if you're willing enough to get this job. That is why. So for the first things that you have to prepare when you're creating your self-introduction video is you need to, of course, know what you're going to be talking about. It's going to be very weird if you have like your whole camera, whole setup, but you actually have no idea what to talk about. So first is you review the guide questions before filming. Some employers will say, you know, answer these 3 questions. Some are just asking 1 question. So for example, this one, it just says 1 to 2 minute video introduction of yourself and explain why you are a good fit for the position. So that's it. So you want to make sure that you're following the guidelines that they have already set. If they're asking for a specific question, you want to look that up. You want to practice also as much as you can what your response is going to be. So that's why you want to review it. Next is, like I said, prepare what to talk about. One of my best tips when it comes to preparing for an interview is to prepare for the questions, is to actually look in the mirror and look at yourself responding to an interview question. Practice as much as you can. So what I mean by preparing what to talk about, get your phone out and just start recording and test out what you look like and see your own face, look at how you react, see how you're talking even. You'll be able to be just more and more confident, honestly, when it comes to talking on video, the more that you do it. So prepare what to talk about, you know, brief yourself, try to see, okay, what are the ways that I can make this better? Next is, while you're talking, if it's just a self-introduction, focus on your interests. You can pick 3. You can pick 3 or 2 things that you are really curious or you're really serious about, for example. So for me, I would say that my interests are learning how businesses work. It is one of my interests is also just reading a lot. I just love studying. I like reading a lot of different books from fiction and nonfiction. So those are the things that I had to remind myself. It's not about really focusing on your interests. It's also about focusing on your own strengths. It's reminding yourself that you are a very badass person. You're a really awesome person to be also willing to right now go through this training. So try to remind yourself of what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your interests, so then you can talk about that on video. Next is you want to make sure, of course, that you talk about your relevant skills. Why is it that you're the person for this job? Why is it that you are the person that they need to hire, or why are you the person they need to tap for this job? One thing that you really have to keep in mind when it comes to you applying for a job is that they are also taking a risk. They're taking a huge risk. You are also taking that risk of, you know, getting hired. But for them, for us employers, we look at it that we're getting someone into our baby, into something that we grew ourselves. If they did found the company, and we want to make sure that when whoever we hire is someone that we can trust, is someone that we want to keep inside of our company. So you have to keep that in mind. Is you want to highlight the relevant skills that will help them take basically less of a risk by hiring you. Next, and this is super important, is you want to research the company that you're applying for. The reason for that is then you can actually say the name of the person that you're doing the intro video of. So let's say that their founder, their CEO, their HR manager is named Bob. You can say, "Hi Bob, my name is Lai Lacaba." You can do it that way. You can be more specific. The other reason why you want to research the company is you want to see if you yourself you're a match. Sorry. Let's say they're looking for a person who specifically is I know, a reader, like using the example earlier. Let's say this, they're looking for, they're a publishing company, they're looking for an editor, and they need someone who can edit books. So then you need to be someone who naturally loves reading books. So you want to research that. You want to look that up and see what is it about you that matches to the missing puzzle piece that they have. When you are getting hired, you are solving a problem for them. They are willing to pay to be able to solve a problem that they currently have. Whether that problem is that they don't have an expert for the specific skill, or they need someone to put here, like someone got promoted and they need someone to replace that person. It could be they are expanding and there is, they need someone to be able to fill a position, or it could just be that they are just generally growing and need maybe a manager or someone who is higher skilled than the people that they already have. So research the company as much as you can. Try to see, do they already have someone in your current position? What are they doing? Who are they? Kind of go all FBI mode of researching researching the company you're about to apply for, just so you are armed with that skill. It is always so shocking to me. No, not shocking. It's always so amazing for me whenever I interview someone and say, oh yeah, I saw your video on YouTube. I actually studied a little bit of it for this interview because I wanted to impress you. So for me, I'm like, oh, okay, this person did their research. They actually want to work for me. They did what they can to find out more about the company. So research the company, and then, like I said, how can you help them? You always have to think that they're thinking, I apologize for that. It's basically what's in it for me. That's always what they're thinking, because that's also what you're thinking. When you saw the title for this training of how to create a self-intro video, you were thinking, okay, what's in it for me? Oh, I'll learn how to do a self-intro video. So I'm going to pause and drink a little bit of water. So you want to look at it from that point of view of how are they benefiting from hiring me. You want to look at it from that point of view. So if it's a position that they really need to be filled, they're a service company, they have a client also who needs your specific set of skills, then you can say that, my name is Lai Lacaba. I've been working as a virtual assistant for the last 5 years. My specialties are content creation and content management, and I believe that I can really help you and your company be able to grow your content marketing because of my own experience of being able to create multiple content for my past clients. Really kind of easy-ish, but it's because I know how to introduce myself to different people. So you have to think, okay, what is the puzzle piece? Where do I fit in the reason why they are actually hiring in the first place? You really want to consider that. Again, they're thinking, what's in it for me? Why this person out of the 50 other videos that I saw? You want to consider that. So let me know. We have people who are watching from the MRT. Okay, so I've tried to read through, and I'll answer especially the longer questions in a little bit. So please feel free to drop any questions that you currently have about creating your own self-introduction video, and I'll get back to it at the very end because I might be covering that as well. So next is you want to then, once you are prepared to what you want to talk about, and by the way, I wasn't going to super include this in this training, mostly because some employers will have a specific format, and I'll do this super duper quick. I'll make a new slide actually while I'm talking. Is basically the intro sentence that you can do. That's just gonna be super easy for you to remember. So it's your name, skill, experience if you have any experience at all that's relevant to it, and then what's in it for me. So what you can do for them. So that's it. That's kind of your introduction sentence if you have no idea what your script should be when you're introducing yourself. So I just did that on the fly. So it's your name, skill, relevant experience, and then what's in it for me, what's in it for them actually. What do they gain by hiring you? So I hope that is clear as a script, as a introduction sentence. So Again, for me, it would be, hi, my name is Lai Lacaba. I have actually been a writer for the last 10 years. And in my experience, I've always been able to help my past clients be able to create content on time, manage their content, and as well grow their audience. So for working with you, I'm really looking forward to be able to replicate that with you and grow your audience to be able to get you more clients for your business. Okay, so you really have to keep in mind that you have to be able to cover the cost of your own pay, of your own salary, so then it's worth it for them to keep paying you, to actually hire you in the first place. Sorry, a little dry throat. There's just that again. It's name, skill, experience, what's in it for them. So you just have to keep those 4 things in mind, so it's easier for you to just start, to not have to be scared of being on the camera. I know it can be really scary. I remember when I first did videos, I didn't even want to go to the camera, and I'm sorry, I have a little bit of allergies tonight. So that's just the really quick script, hopefully, that will guide you. So I'm going to answer this good question by Yana. So what can we say if you don't have the experience? Then you can go to what is your background or what have you studied before. So you can say, for example, let's say for me, my name is Lai Lacaba. I have recently learned the skill of, or I recently acquired or recently gone through a training on how to create chatbots. So this is something that I have been able to experiment myself. So before that, by the way, one thing that I really recommend if you don't have any experience at all is either one, work on your own projects. So if you're a writer, if you're someone who creates chatbots, if you're someone who creates websites, if you're a social media manager, work for yourself. What I mean by that is create content like as if you hired yourself to do it. So for example, for me, so it's kind of like creating your portfolio. So for me, when I was starting out as a writer at 15 years old, mostly what I was doing is I was creating blog posts, I was creating articles, I was creating short stories. So that was how I gained experience. Even though I didn't have any paid experience, being able to work for myself, create my own content, helped me get those other jobs because then I had a portfolio to show. So if you don't have experience, again, you can either try to have some, you can create some of your portfolio entries, you can work for yourself and show them that as your portfolio entry, or you can just say, or you can mention any kind of training that you did to be able to get the skill that you currently are trying to apply for. Kat asks, I'm struggling with my introduction video because I don't know if it's okay to have a Filipino accent or should I need to sound like a Native American. Honestly, you can sound like a Filipino. It's not a negative, it's not, unless they actually ask for someone who has doesn't have an accent. What they actually like is if you don't have an accent at all. It's actually one of the funny, this is what I heard from my foreigner friends. One of the reasons why most call centers are in Cebu right now is because most Cebuanos, and I can't count myself as one because I'm originally from Tacloban City, don't have an accent when they're speaking in English, when they're just learning to make that switch. So have an accent, don't have an accent, unless they say so specifically in the job ad, you can probably just speak with a Filipino accent and that should be fine. Because again, they're trying to gauge if you are someone who they want, someone they don't want. They're just trying to make it really fast and kind of semi-automated for them to hire someone, to get someone. So that's all that they're trying to do. Okay, so hopefully again, I flashed that long enough what the intro sentence could be. So next is you want to prepare the tools that you have. So this could be, you could have your old phone or a tablet that you have lying around. It could be the webcam, your web camera on your laptop. So you don't have to buy a fancy camera. You don't have to buy a new phone just for this. Just use what you already have. This is not a full production video. It's not even a long video. It's just usually 1 minute to 2 minutes. So just use what you already have, the tools that you have in front of you. You can, if you really, really need to, you can borrow someone else's phone just to be able to record. But again, you don't have to buy a new equipment just for this. Okay, so next is you want to consider video length. So if you are uploading it on a website, for example, like they have their own Google form, or they have their on their website like the hiring form, you can make it up to 3 minutes max, because then it can handle the bigger file. Or again, please always refer to the job ad. Look at the job ad, what is the limit that they have set for you, and always be under that limit. So if it says 2 minutes, make it 150. Try not to over, because they have a reason why it's that short, or they're looking at that as you having attention to detail to be able to follow that specific instruction. And if you're sending it personally to an employer, through email, then you can make it 1.5 minute max. So again, go back to the job ad, see or read through what their specific instruction is, and follow that, because there's a reason why they did that. It could be a filter, it could be a way for them to know if you're reading the actual instructions. Next is, you want to make sure that you prepare your environment. What I mean by that is, you want to make sure you're in a quiet place, if as much as you can. And I know it's a little bit harder when you are surrounded by family, but you can tell them like, hey, I'm going to be recording a video for 10 minutes. Can you all please be quiet for just 10 minutes just so I can finish recording this video? So I've done that myself. I've put signs on my door for my siblings not to bother me, or any of my roommates to bother me here. So just look for a place that you can be quiet, that there's not going to be too much of a background noise, like a karaoke blaring in the background. So also timing also helps. Next, it's make sure that your lighting is good. You don't need a whole ring light equipment. You don't need a small ring light even. You could just go outside where there's light, or you can go where you're nearby a window and you can use that lighting. You don't have to have a whole studio set up. Next is make sure your background is clean. So what I mean by this is, make sure there's nothing on the walls that's gonna be distracting to them. Make sure that your house is a little, or just use a background, a white background like this. So when I first started doing my YouTube videos, this is just it. It's like literally just I painted my whole wall white, and that was what I used for my backgrounds. So you can do the same thing. Just make sure that it's not too distracting. So I really recommend that it's against the wall, not against like people running around in the background. So hopefully that makes sense when it comes to preparing your environment. Again, feel free to comment any questions that you might have when it comes to creating your introduction video. Next is, then you want to prepare yourself. You want to make sure that you yourself are ready to be able to do this. So make yourself presentable, wear a formal top. So for me, I have this jacket always hanging behind my chair. I have this, and then I have a black jacket that I put on. So this could be like sleeveless, or this could be like something totally different. Put on a jacket and I look formal. So have a formal top. It could be just a white blouse that you have. It could be just as long as it's not sleeveless, as long as it doesn't show too much of your skin, just enough. Really keep in mind that it is still a professional workplace, even though it's working from home. And also, we did have a question from, let me see, Teen actually. Do employees prefer introduction videos full body or just waist up? So it depends. They will say that in the instructions, but most of the time, it just has to be your waist up. It doesn't have to be, like most of the time, I'm just wearing shorts underneath. This is a dress, so I'm not. It's a full dress. So it's depending. It depends on the instructions on the actual job ad. Just make sure you look presentable, you look clean, you look good, you feel good also. So like the next tips that I have is, keep in mind to breathe. Keep in mind that before you hit the record button, or even while the record button is running, you're like, you can do that. And of course, smile. It's just keep in mind that, they're going to notice if you're too stiff. They're going to notice if you're too nervous. So smile. You can hear the difference between a person smiling and when they're not smiling. So keep in mind that you can smile, look at the camera. It's not just looking at the camera, focus on the camera. I've gotten self-introduction videos before where they were looking at their phone, not at the camera, on their phone. So it was very distracting for me as the employer looking at that. So make sure that you are looking at the small little hole on your phone when you're talking, or if you really get easily distracted, you can just flip your phone so you're able to just focus on just the camera at the back. So you're not anymore just looking at yourself with the selfie. So there's different hacks for you. But if you really have a hard time not looking at yourself, flip it around, put it on timer or have someone else press it to be able to start. So again, keep in mind, what was your introduction? So it's just name, skill, experience, and then what's in it for them, what's in it for me. So it's easy for them to see the benefit of hiring you. Next is, then you want to use a video editor. And this is only if you do need it. So this is what I mean by you can have the recording running, because then you can just edit it out yourself. So again, you don't have to spend, there are a ton of video editors. So there's Filmora, I've used this myself, Vlognow, Video Editor and Video Maker, UCut, KineMaster. So all of these 5 are free on Android. Some of them are on Apple. So if you want to use, if you have an you have an iPhone, you can use any. Some of these are on iPhone, if I remember right. I think Filmora is. So you don't have to pay someone, but if your kid is actually a talented video editor, you can have them edit it as well. The point of it is to make sure that you trim the sides, the start and the end of your video, that there's no gap between before you start and then after you end. It's also making sure that if you want to, you can clean it up. You can remove the ums, you can remove the pauses that you made, you can remove anything else that you might have repeated yourself. So one thing that for me as a YouTuber that I do a lot is when I make a mistake, I just repeat the last thing that I just said so that it's cleaner to edit. So my awesome assistant Tina, she goes through and makes sure that I have a clean edit when I'm talking. But to help her, I also keep in mind to pause and then repeat what I just said so then I can say it smoother. So just edit yourself, just edit any errors or any anything that you don't want the employer to see, of course. That is what you'll use the video editor for. Next now is, once you have that, once you've prepped, you've researched, you've filmed, and you've now edited, how do you actually submit these? So different employers, again, will have different instructions, but you can upload your self-intro videos in either of these platforms. You can use Google Drive, which if you haven't used Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive before, these are places where when you upload the video, you can use share, and you can copy a link where anyone can see it. So to keep in mind that it has to be anyone can view, and then be able to send that to your employer. So for example, for this one, since this is technically a Google Doc, you click share right there, and you would be, I don't want to share my email address, but you're basically able to grab a link and then be able to send that to them. So like the earlier one where, the earlier job ad where they were talking about make it 1 to 2 videos, and when you're applying, you're supposed to already have the video, then you can upload it to Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive, grab the shareable link, and be able to share that link with them. So you don't have to upload it to their files, to their emails. It's just there. Next is, of course, YouTube. If you want to, you can put your YouTube, you can upload it to YouTube, and then just make it an unlisted video, and then they don't have to search you on YouTube. You can just send them the video, the link to the video. As long as it's not unlisted, it's not private. Because if it's private, then they'll need access to it. And the last one is actually a tool called Vidyard. So Vidyard is a video extension. It's just on your Chrome, and it's a Chrome extension. And it's basically a screen recorder, but you can turn it into just camera. You can record yourself with your webcam through Vidyard. So again, go to vidyard.com. If I remember right, it's a extension, and you can record with just your camera, and you can use that as a way to record your introduction video as well. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, again, keep in mind that they will have a specific prompt or a specific thing that they are asking you to be able to do. So for example, this one, a recording or video telling us about you and why we should hire you. So same thing, same format that I just talked about, which is the name, the skill, the experience, and then also the what's in it for them. So why should they hire you? So it shouldn't just all be about your features basically about you as a person, but it's also the benefits. So for example, let's say, that's a good example of something that I can sell. Okay, so let's say this scissor, right? So this scissor has a couple of features. So the features is it has two handles here. It has sharp edges right here, right there, and it also just is easy to store because of its shape. So those are the features. The benefits is then it's easy to grip and handle and be able to cut. That's the feature, that's the benefit of the handle. The sharpness makes it easy for me to cut through things. That's the benefit of it. And now it's easy to store because of its shape. So that is features versus benefits. So you can think of it that way. Your skills are your features. Your what's in it for me are your benefits. What is, you know, the ultimate outcome of having a skill? So for example, for me, as the ultimate outcome as a skill as a writer is to be able to consistently create content so they can grow their brand. So think of it that way of what is a benefit, what is their benefit, or what do they get if they hire you. So hopefully that makes sense. Please do let me know any other additional questions that you might have about this specifically, and I'll go through them in a little bit actually. So now, hopefully, you are ready to film your self-introduction video. So this is a shorter training because I really wanted to go into and see if you had any questions, more specific questions, because like I said, it's going to be different per employer of what they ask for. So I wanted to keep it a little bit general, but at the same time covering all of the basics or the stuff that you probably want to know before you hit that record button or before you even think of applying for a job that asks for a self-introduction video. So yeah, let me know, and I'll kind of start going through all of the questions now. So let me know if you have any questions at all. So again, going through everything that I just talked about, just making sure that for those who are just joining us, you are able to get a good backdrop of what we just talked about. So first thing that you need to do if you're recording your self-introduction video is know what to talk about. So review the guide questions before filming. So see if they're asking for anything specific. Next is you want to prepare for what you want to talk about. So it could be your interests, it could be your skills. Then you want to make sure that you research the company. You want to ask yourself, how can you help them? You want to keep in mind that for them, they're asking the question of what's in it for me. Why is this person the person that's going to solve the problem that I've been having? That's why I need to hire for this position. Next is, this is a quick script that you can keep in mind when you are doing your introduction. It's your name, plus your skill, plus experience, plus what's in it for me, for what's in it for them. Again, it's going to be skill is your feature. These are the things that you can do. What's in it for me is your benefit. What do they get? What is the end goal that they get by hiring you? Next is you want to prepare your tools. You want to use what you already have. So if you have an older phone, if you have a tablet, if you want to borrow your cousin's phone just to be able to do it, you can, as long as you keep in mind you don't have to buy new equipment for this. Next is consider video length. So again, this will depend on the employer. Sometimes they'll just say 1 to 2 minutes or 1 to 3 minutes. But if it's for a website, less than 3 minutes. If you're sending it through their email, make it 1.5 minute max. Next is you want to prepare your environment. You want to make sure you're in a quiet place where you can actually talk. You can set boundaries with the people that you live with to be quiet just for a little bit, just to be able to do the introduction video. Next is make sure the lighting is good. Again, you don't need fancy equipment. Just use your window. Go outside if you really need to. You don't need like ring lights or anything like that. And then of course, make sure your background is clean, that nothing is too distracting. You can do it with like a background of books, but sometimes that can be very distracting, if they like one of the books. Next is you want to then prepare yourself. When you're recording, make yourself presentable. Wear a formal top. You can wear long sleeves. You can, get a coat that you can just put on whatever you're wearing, and you can kind of look already semi-professional. Next is you want to keep in mind to breathe and then smile. Keep in mind, and again, focus on the camera. Stop looking at your screen If you can't help it, flip your phone, have someone else hit record, so you can just focus on the camera. I have seen too many self-introduction videos where they're looking at the screen, and it was very distracting. Next is use a video editor to clean it up. You can use apps like Filmora, Vlog Now, Video Editor and Video Maker, UCut, and KineMaster. So you can use any of these apps. There's more on the App Store that you can pick from, but just you don't need to spend anything for that. Next is when you're submitting, you want to consider a few platforms. One is Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. The benefit of this is once you upload the video, you can grab a shareable link. Next is YouTube. You can upload a video on there that's unlisted, and you can send the link to your potential employer. And then Vidyard is a Chrome extension that you can record yourself using your webcam. So any of these platforms work. If you remember, like here, when you apply, you're already sending them the recording or the video. So you're probably uploading a link instead of directly uploading the video onto their platform. So again, keep in mind that they'll have different requirements, that they'll ask for specific things from you when you're applying for the job. So hopefully for a lot of you, you're now again more ready to film your self-introduction video. So I'm now gonna go through some questions. Let me see. So good evening, I started my profile. Sorry. In Upwork, but I can't start my intro and video. That's why I can't complete my Upwork. How can I sell myself for the employer to hire me? What do you mean I can't start? You can't upload or you can't record yet? Give me a little bit more context. Because then what you can do is you can just have, you could, like I just said, you can upload it into a specific platform and then have that link be part of your bio or part of your intro. You can do it that way as well. If you can't upload a video on Upwork itself, you can just use a link to your introduction video. So hopefully that helps, Anna. Let me see. Can we ask their company name to be able to research the company name, because they don't usually say so. That is true, and I know some companies do that, so it kind of protects them. But if you can research them, if not, then you kind of just want to kind of going in blind. But you want to pick apart the job ad as much as you can already and see what hints they left there. So let me see through like the other. Okay, so this one was if I remember right, this was for a virtual assistant role. So for here, you can already go through and see why, or think or ask yourself, why are they requiring these specific requirements? Why are they asking for at least 1 year experience in this role? Why do they need someone who has excellent written and verbal English? Why would they need someone who has knowledge on online calendars or have excellent time management skills? The reason for that is then, for them, this is what they're lacking. This is why they want to hire for. So even if you have no idea who they are, you can just say, let's say I was applying for this job. So, hi, my name is Lai Lacaba. I have multiple skills as a virtual assistant, including, and again, you can literally use their job ad as your script also. This is a quick little hack for all of you who haven't recorded your intro video yet, is you can use their job ad as part of your script. So for me again, hi, my name is Lai Lacaba. I've been a virtual assistant for the last 2 years. So you're clicking off that. I have also been a writer for the last 3 years, and I have recorded my own videos on YouTube. I am self-trained on Google Docs and Google Sheets, and also on being able to schedule calendar appointments. I am someone who never misses an appointment or is always early or on time, and I am someone who can learn your voice of how you talk and how you email, so then I can interact as you on your emails and on your messaging. So that, again, you're tying everything that you are picking up from their job ad, so you're able to submit that to them. So let me go through the other example of how I would do the introductions. I'm just doing a few samples so you can get a better idea of how to introduce yourself. So Oh, I cut off the part where it does the introduction. It's just mostly the system requirements. Yeah, I can't do this one. If anyone has any, feel free to chat it, or send the snippet of the job ad. I'll be more than happy to go through it. But yeah, this one doesn't say the whole job description. I remember this was really long, so I can't go through it. So yeah, so just use the job ad as your script. Tie yourself together with the script. Okay, so next is let me see. Yvette asks, is it okay to edit the video using Canva templates or any other tools, or should it be the raw video? Okay, so I do suggest editing, especially if you have, if you just, again, cleaning up the start and the end of the video. You can edit out any ums and ahs. But for putting templates, it depends on the position that you are applying for. If you're applying for a video editor, you want to try and you always want to put your best foot forward. So you want to edit it the best that you can. If you are applying as a social media manager or a graphic artist, you can add templates to it. So it doesn't have to be just raw. It can be based on what is the skill or the position that you're trying to hire for. So that's kind of like the quick on that. So it depends on the job. If they're just hiring a virtual assistant, you can just keep it really simple. It doesn't have to have a lot of stuff on it, I guess. A lot of graphics on it. Just keep it really simple for them to be able to go through and follow. Irene asks, does it need to be that you have to mention basically the country you're from and age? No, honestly, no. Especially, actually, funny enough, if you're getting hired by a U.S. company, in their labor laws, it is actually illegal to ask for someone's age and their ethnicity, because that is grounds for discrimination law, basically, for their rules for discrimination, for anti-discrimination, I mean. So you don't have to at all. You saw me do a bunch of introductions. I don't mention my name. I don't mention where I'm from, because that's usually understandable already from my resume, supposedly my resume and application letter, how old I am and where I'm from. So yeah. Isel asks, what's the best video editing app for adjusting lighting? Okay, so first one is try to find a place where you can have light. That's the first thing. Is if you can find a place that does have better lighting, that's the first fix. Next, if you don't have a choice at all, I believe, let me see, I use but I paid for this app. That's why I'm not recommending InShot when I'm editing just on my phone. I even have it open still because I was editing a video earlier for myself. Let me see. InShot, if I remember right, you can edit lighting. You just have to go to filter. There's a bunch of, in almost in every video app, they'll have a place where you can click on filter, and then they'll have different filters that you can use. You can do, I'm trying to do this right. Okay. You do adjust, and there's usually a way that you can adjust for brightness or not bright. So yeah, most video apps will have that way that you can edit the brightness. Okay, so I'm just going up. Let me see. I do have a little bit of allergies, so I'll be using a lot of tissues today. But because it's all online, you don't have to be worried. And also, again, this is only allergies and not an actual flu. I walked through flowers yesterday, so I got a little bit of allergies. Let me see. Yeah, some people are using PowerPoint video editing. That's also a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick, again, for those who weren't here earlier, of what an introduction can look like if you're a newbie or if you don't have any experience at all. So actually, let me stop sharing. So there you go. So it's just fool me. So for let's say I was going to be applying for a video editor position. Let's say, oh wait, let me think of a position where you can't really, if you have any, give me any chat below what job position you're trying to apply for, and I'll create a script right off the top of my head that you can follow eventually. So let me know. Okay, so this is a really good one. How should I do my self-introduction if I only work in the corporate industry and not as a VA? So it's a really good example, by the way. So thank you. Perfect timing. So let's say, hi, my name is Lai Lacaba. In the last 5 years, I've been working as a insert your, in the BPO industry as a call center agent, or again, whatever position that you worked with. So you're going with your experience. And in the last couple of months, I've actually been training as a virtual assistant. I've been learning how to, you're listing out the skills that you have learned. So you can say in the last few months, I've actually been learning how to be able to manage calendars, how to be able to manage contacts, and I've even been learning how to create content. For this position, the reason why I think I'm a really good fit for it is looking at your website, or could be looking at the job description. I am someone who is very good at time management. I'm someone who is a very fast learner. To imagine that a few months ago when I lost my job, I was able to pick up the skill of becoming a virtual assistant right away. So these are things that I know that I can bring into your company, is as someone who is naturally curious and naturally willing to learn any skill. So that is why I'm going to be a fit for your company, because you can add any additional stuff about their company. So if they're a real estate company, so this is why I'm able to add into your real estate company, because I am someone who's willing to learn your industry really fast. Your industry is something that I've always been curious about, and is one that I'm willing to grow in. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so a couple people said no experience applying for a virtual assistant. So I gave a little bit already with the background of corporate, but I'm gonna go for it with no background at all. So hi there, my name is Lai Lacaba, and I am applying for the position of virtual assistant for your XX company. So in your job ad, I saw that you mentioned that you need someone who is Microsoft Office. I'm trying to think of what would be a minimum, sorry. On your job ad, I saw that you need someone I'm sorry, I just need a drink of water. I'm trying to think of what could be possible requirements for a virtual assistant. Okay, so let me do that over again. Hi there, so my name is Lai Lacaba, and I am applying for the position of a virtual assistant. In your job ad, I saw that you need someone who has specific skills such as calendar management, content management, and contact management. And these are skills that I have recently learned and have started applying within myself and for my friends. So you can say that. It's any experience is good experience, especially if you've been experimenting with yourself. So that's one way that you can introduce yourself if you don't have any experience. You just mention and go through the job ad, because that shows, especially if you're a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is someone that they always expect that you have attention to detail, that you're someone who's curious and willing to learn. Those are the kind of automatic things. I run an executive assistant company, so those are the things that I'm looking for when I'm hiring. So that's how I would introduce myself if I don't have any experience at all. Yvette, what if my last working experience was a band singer and I'm applying for a virtual assistant? Yvette, let me know in the comments what other jobs you've done, because you don't have to always go through the last working experience. It could be that you had other previous experience, and again, you can just go back to just saying that you don't have experience at all. You don't always have to refer to your past work. How can I introduce myself if I'm a fresh graduate applying for a virtual assistant? Again, same thing that I just said, is you can just go ahead and actually just go through their job ad and refer to their job ad. It doesn't have to be that you have to say your own experience. You can just go through and kind of respond to the job description, so then it sounds like you're the person that they're actually looking for. So how can we actually insert something fun in the self-introduction? Very good question, Rhea. So, again, it depends. Some employers really, really want professionalism. Some employers don't. It depends on the tone, I guess, of their job ad. So, it really depends. If you research them and they are the kind of company who is open to that, then you can insert a funny story. You can insert a story of you conquering something, or any basically anything that you can insert that you think would be relevant to them. Again, it's going to be a little bit harder, depending on the actual employer or the HR manager or whoever will be screening your self-introduction video. But try to just keep in mind you have to be yourself, because if you are pretending to be someone else, then you have to continue that streak as you're working for that company. Okay, so a question from Irene, basically data entry as the position. So that'll be a good way. I have to blow my nose a little bit, sorry. Data entry. Okay. Alright. So, hello there, my name is Lai Lacaba, and I'm applying for the position of being able to do data entry. What would be a position? Sorry, an official day for that. Hi, my name is Lai Lacaba, and I'm applying for the position of data entry. I'm someone who has some experience in being able to collect and input data correctly into a sheet and be able to manage and grow that sheet as needed. I'm someone who you can depend on to be able to make sure that the task is done, to make sure to grab any data that you need for your potential company, for the people that you're trying to target, or the people that you are trying to convert into a client. So I'm trying to think of any ways. Again, always try to refer to the job ad. Always try to think of the job ad, see what specifically are they trying to look for, because then you can try to fit yourself if you are that person or not. So that's, I guess, how I would do data entry. I was a service crew in fast food chains and sales associate in a boutique. So let me see. Yeah, but then you can use that. Let's say if I was applying for that position. Hi, my name is Lai Lacaba, and I'm applying for the position of virtual assistant. My previous experience in being a service crew and sales associate has taught me a lot to become a virtual assistant. It's taught me to be able to make sure that I have a really good attention to detail, to make sure that I'm selling the right stuff to the right customer. It also has taught me to be better at customer service, to be able to smile and find solutions whenever they come up, or problems when they come up inside of our company or inside of our restaurant, wherever it was. So that's how I would do if you work in fast food chains. This is the thing you have to keep in mind if you're applying for any position. Never discount your past experience. What I mean by that, in every job that you've had, even though it was a job that you hated, there was something that you gained from that. There was a skill that you learned somewhere in there. Whether when you were working in a sales associate in a boutique, you learned customer service. You learned how to know if someone was about to buy something, how to get them the right sizes, how to be detail-oriented enough to give them the right price. So you learned something. That with fast food chains, you learned how to be someone who was fast on their feet, who was able to remember things as people order them. So really keep in mind that every single experience you've gone through, you gained some sort of skill, one or the other, and you can bring that into the different positions that you're trying to apply for. Abigail says, I wanted to go home for good, and I hope that I can start this career as soon as possible. Even my work now and before is nurse. So nurse is also a really good example of you're learning a ton of skills there. You have to be, again, detail-oriented enough to be able to get the right information. You have to be organized so you can make sure that you're giving the right things to the right people. So try to look at like a list of soft skills, a list of like if you looked at, I'll try to search it really quick, and this is an upcoming training for April. So if you make sure to watch first Thursday of April, these are different soft skills that you'll be able to learn. So let me grab that training so then you can see like the top soft skills. So try to always refer to that. Is that every time that you're applying for a job, basically, you are learning a soft skill, one or the other. So let me, oops, wrong button. Share screen. Okay, so this is the training that I'll be doing next month, which is how to be replaceable at work. But I wanted to be specific on the top soft skills. So right now, whatever job that you've had before, you have learned one of the top 10 soft skills. So this is what you'll be focusing on as you are applying for the job. You could be someone who has really good, self-motivation. You're someone who has really creativity, a lot of creativity. You're someone who gained leadership skills as you were a nurse. So especially when you're a teacher, I remember someone said you're a teacher. Charlene says that she's a teacher. That is a skill that you've learned how to be a leader. You've learned how to get people to follow what it is that you say. You've also have adaptability skills. You've gained those skills being a teacher. So look at this list. Look for other lists. There's a ton of other lists of other soft skills that you can learn, and see where, for each job position that you've had, what you learned from each one. So then you can bring that to your next job. So always refer to your past work. There's always something there that you can bring over to your next job. Okay, so I think I'm wrapping up there. It's already 9:05. Let me know. I'll wait a little bit to see if there are any additional questions. Yeah, if someone watching from Iloilo, yeah, that's really good to hear that this is a big help for all of you. Let me see. Zara was watching it. Was showering earlier, and now I can finally focus. That's really good. So again, this is recorded. There is going to be a replay. You can go through all of the past trainings that I've done since a year ago on the YouTube channel and also on the page itself. So you can go through and rewatch all of this basically again if you wanted to. So again, I'm going to wait a few more minutes, I think until 9:10, if there are any more additional questions, and then we'll wrap it up basically. Chelsea's watching with her toddler. Yay, babies! Alright, yeah, it's being flashed on the screen. You can follow me on my YouTube channel. I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. So today I actually have a new video talking about how I hired my team. So yeah, if you guys want more tips on being able to get hired or how to work from home, I do post a lot on my YouTube channel, so twice a week. Yeah, it's being shared right now. Thank you so much. Okay, so I don't see any other additional questions, and I think you're all good. If you need any more specific help, we just commented on there my Facebook page. Feel free to message me on my Facebook page. I'll be more than happy to answer and help you and see what else I can basically just do to get you your job. That's kind of like the whole reason why I started Virtual Ate, is to get more people to have an online job. So please feel free to reach out and let me know if you needed anything. So someone asked, how can I apply to your company to XU? So right now we do have hiring. Actually, we're currently hiring for someone who has background in bookkeeping. So it's an executive assistant position. The primary task is for bookkeeping. We are only hiring for Cebu though. Sadly, the reason for that is because we do provide a backup laptop and backup internet if needed, because we want to guarantee to the basically to the client that we can have you always online when they need to. So you're working your own hours, but if they need you to call, basically you have internet or you have good laptop. So if you are interested in, let me check if the link is not working. If you're interested in that, you can go to 2xu.com/hiring, and that will redirect you to our job ad on my Nemo, and that is a full-time job. Again, only hiring from Cebu, doesn't have to be Cebu City, but Cebu area, so we can again provide you with a laptop or backup internet if you need to. So yeah, only Cebu, because it's really hard to guarantee again to the client that we can take care of you if you're really far away. So yeah, again, it's 2xu.com/hiring if you're interested. We are currently hiring. So that is, again, we are looking for someone who has background on bookkeeping. So yeah, I guess that is it. Again, feel free to go back through the replay, share, tag, let other people know. The next time that someone approaches like, hey, I have this intro video that I need to do, what do I do? You can send them the link to this and be able to help them out in that way. Thank you so much for everyone who joined in, for everyone who watched. Again, I hope that this really helps a lot of you who have been so scared of going to the camera. Again, it's only 1.5 minutes, maximum 2 minutes probably, of introducing yourself. And it's just breathe. Just keep your mind to breathe, arm yourself with knowledge, and know that you can always try again also. And ask for feedback. I think that's one thing that I didn't include in the slides is if they say no, ask for feedback. Ask them what you did wrong specifically so then you can improve the next time. So it's already 9:10. Again, thank you everyone for watching, for learning, and for tuning in on this training. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Mami Donna from Singapore, based in Singapore. I just finished my one-on-one session with Mami MK. Sobrang happy kasi ang dami kong pang natutunan and naging mas okay yung resume ko. And I'm more confident na mag-apply ngayon sa online job na meron ako. So, I will recommend si Mami MK na mag one-on-one kayo. Sobrang mas matututo kayo talaga. Thank you, Mami MK!
Thank you, Mami Donna. Good luck. I'm so happy na talagang tuloy-tuloy na yung paghanap mo ng online job.
Thank you!
Thank you.
Next session ulit. Book ako.
Sige. Bye-bye,
Okay,
Mami.
bye-bye!
Thank you.
Hello sa inyong lahat. Ako si Mami Sheila and kakatapos lang ng one-on-one consultation namin ni Mami MK. Actually, ang dami ko talaga natutunan dito sa consultation namin. Ang dami ko pala talagang dapat baguhin dun sa mga sa resume ko, and then natuto na rin ako kung paano gumawa ng cover letter or pati yun sa portfolio. And marami din na mga tools na tinuro sa si Mami MK. Talagang sobrang nakatulong siya, and I hope dahil dito sa one-on-one consultation namin, maayos ko to, and then isasubmit ko or magta-try na ako mag-apply, and sana mag-work talaga. Ayun. Kaya thank you talaga Mami MK sa help mo, and thank you for this opportunity talaga.
Thank you din, Mami Sheila. Mas confident ka na ba ngayon mag-apply after ng one-on-one consultation natin?
Yes, kasi nung una talaga natatakot ako, pero dahil nga dun sa lahat ng mga sinabi mo, mas lumakas yung loob ko. Tsaka alam ko na kung ano yung dapat gawin na sa pag-a-apply. Kasi nung una, hindi ko talaga alam kung tama ba yung ginagawa ko o ano, dahil first time ko talaga mag-a-apply sa online.
And then yung katulad nung resume mo, even yung cover letter, ang dami nating change, no? Sa profile din. So, nakakatuwa na ang dami rin nating i-change kasi mas exciting na siya ngayon na mas guided ka na. So, do you think kung may chance, kasi di ba sabi ko sa'yo, kapag kailangan mo pa magpa one-on-one consultation once na napansin ka na ng mga clients, and then for interview or exam ka na, do you think willing ka pa ulit magpa one-on-one consultation in the future kapag needed?
Yes. Kasi talagang sulit talaga yung one-on-one consultation natin. As in, talagang sobrang helpful talaga siya. Hindi ako mag-hesitate na magpa-book ulit in the near future.
Thank you, Mami. Good luck. Galingan natin sa 2021.
Yes.
Okay?
Oo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am MK. Sobra. God bless and more power.
God bless you too. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo.
FHMoms Radio, changing lives, one mom at a time. Moving forward, giving back with FHMoms Radio.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo. Marami kang matututunan dahil di lang basta chikahan. FHMoms Radio, mga mamshi ating to.
Tara na mga mamshi, mami, nanay o mama, andito na ang FHMoms makakasama. Ang online radio na magbibigay advice at mga kwento na siguradong mapapanay. Ito ay hindi lang basta mga chikahan. Andito sila upang ikaw ay gabayan, turuan ng mga tips sa paghahanap buhay at maging isa ka sa successful na nanay. O diba? Kaya saan ka pa? Basta ikaw ay momshi, dito bida ka. FHMoms Radio number 1. Ito ang online radio ng sangkanan na yan. Di ka lang basta nanay, ikaw ay super nanay. Para sa pamilya ang lahat ay iaalay. Lahat ibibigay, lahat ay kayang gawin. Ang iyong pagiging nanay lalo pang palakasin.
FHMoms Radio.
Tara na tumutok na sa FHMoms Radio. Habang ika'y nagre-relax sa bahay mo. Marami kang matututunan dahil di lang basta chikahan. FHMoms Radio, mga mamshi ating to. Mga mamshi tayo.